Coming up on Channel 8 Eyewitness News at 6, murder charges have been filed against the mother of a 2-year-old who died in deplorable conditions.
Some kids will get an extra couple of weeks of vacation because their school won't be ready to open on time.
Plus $2.53 a gallon and counting. Southern Nevada sets what's likely to become a string of new records at the gas pump.
You're watching Channel 8 Eyewitness News at 6. It's not just news, it's Eyewitness News.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. 3 weeks from today, campuses all across Clark County will welcome students for another school year.
But some new schools may miss the deadline. Channel 8 Eyewitness News reporter Chris Saldaña has more on the school district's construction delays.
Classroom hallways with plenty of patchwork, scaffolds, and a number of construction vehicles are all signs that Joseph E. Theriot Elementary is far from ready for the first day of school. Construction delays because of last-minute location decisions, the design of the school, and the fact that we've had plenty of rain since construction started pushed back the completion date.
It's a combination of errors on our part, on the architect's fault, weather, and the contractors.
The fact that the school will be 2 stories tall is working against the time crunch. This design is something Smith says the district wants to get away from, but can't.
I wish we could, but unfortunately, we're finding it more and more difficult to find parcels of land of the size that we need it, and that's what's driven us to have to construct more 2-story schools.
Theriot Elementary isn't the only concern for the school district. As you can see, Reese Elementary School is built and ready for students, but looking around the school, there's still dirt roads that need to be paved before students can make their way to this elementary. The school district says, though, they do have a contingency plan.
We're actually going to construct a 32-foot wide temporary paved road from Jones along the alignment of LeBaron to the southwest corner of the school, and then up to the north along Woodwind, and then to the east along Reese Rocket Road to get to the parking lot.
Chris Saldaña, Channel 8 Eyewitness News.
Students at Theriot Elementary will start classes 3 weeks late on September 19th. They'll have to make up the class time at the end of the regular 9-month school year.
Well, with 3 weeks to the start of the regular school year, the Clark County School District is still about 300 teachers short of full staff. So far, the district's made job offers to more than 2,300 potential teachers. More than 1,500 of those have accepted, and the district's still waiting to hear from 338 people. District is recruiting and hiring teachers on a daily basis, but it still needs teachers in critical areas like special education, math, physical science, and English. The district is recruiting in other states and overseas. It's even offered full-time jobs to qualified substitute teachers, but the shortage still exists.
So even with the 41 states, even with the Philippines, even with our Grow Your Own programs, we are still over 100 special education teachers short. Now, if there are people out there that we've turned down in special education, they must have another issue.
The district says there are several considerations when hiring teachers, including whether they have past successful experience, good grades in their transcripts, they pass a background check, and whether they do well in an interview.
We still need your help in our Tools for Teachers campaign. Channel 8 and our Community Pride partners are teaming up to collect school supplies so teachers don't have to dig into their own pockets. The campaign runs through Friday.
Police are now searching for a woman and her boyfriend who they say allowed her daughter to starve to death. A warrant has been issued for Charlene Snyder and her boyfriend Jack Richardson for the murder and 7 counts of abuse and neglect. Channel 8 Eyewitness News is live. Cindy Caesar joins us from the mobile home park where Adiceli Snyder died. Cindy.
That's right. Charlene Snyder and her boyfriend Jack Richardson were actually evicted from this mobile home just a couple of weeks ago. Just a couple of hours ago, Metro Police returned to this mobile home because they had this warrant for their arrest on 7 counts of child abuse and neglect, substantial bodily harm, and 1 count for murder. Charlene Snyder's 2-year-old daughter, Adiceli, who suffered from cerebral palsy, died from malnutrition on June 29th. She weighed just 11 pounds at the time of her death. In the police warrant, her mother's boyfriend, Jack Richardson, told authorities, quote, Adiceli Snyder would have her hair tangled in her hands at times. He indicated that they would have to untangle it, and it would seem to hurt Adiceli at times. He admitted that there may have been a time where it had cut a little bit at the base of a finger. Police later described that Adeseli's fingers were so tangled in her hair that her tendons were exposed. Adeseli's 2 older sisters and younger brother were taken into protective custody upon her death. The police report indicates that the 2 older girls suffered more abuse and neglect than their younger brother. The report says that one of the girls had on pajamas that were extremely soiled. Her underwear contained large amounts of dried and new feces. She also had evidence of bug bites on her lower arms. Now, both Charlene Schneider as well as Jack Richardson have a family court appearance tomorrow dealing with the custody issue of their 3 surviving children. But it is now unclear whether they will show up for that family court appearance now that this warrant has been issued for their arrest. Reporting live on Walnut and Lake Mead Boulevard, Cindy Cesare, Channel 8 Eyewitness News.
Cindy, thank you. The warrant indicates that Schneider and Richardson supported the family off the little girl's Social Security check of about $580 a month. She received the money because of her cerebral palsy.
Police have arrested 2 teenagers for the weekend shooting of a 26-year-old man. The victim was discovered in an alley in the area of Desert Inn and Maryland Parkway. Witnesses say he had been shot after an argument. Today, police arrested a 16-year-old and a 14-year-old. They're being held in the Clark County Detention Center. Nevada law enforcement officers will meet in October to discuss improvements to the state's method of assessing the threat of sex offenders to the community. The summit will allow authorities to discuss problems with public notification on the whereabouts of dangerous offenders and the problems with sex offender tiering assessment systems. Sex offenders must register their addresses with police, but only Tier 3 offenders are subject to general public notification. Police cannot share information about Tier 0 or 1 offenders who pose the lowest risk. No one has used it more than the National Weather Service, but every agency has the capabilities to use it. It's called the Emergency Activation System. It could mean the difference between life and death. Channel 8 Eyewitness News reporter Tedd Florendo explains.
There's no human errors. When it gets extremely busy, the computer just does what it does and does it well.
It's an ear-piercing sound followed by information like you see here.
Well, since the civil defense days where we had the air raid sirens blaring to give a warning for duck and cover, unfortunately our community grew so fast over the years that those types of siren systems simply don't work for us anymore.
The Emergency Activated System, as it's called, can be activated by numerous agencies in Clark County. NHP, to the National Weather Service, has full access to put out a warning if the situation is critical.
Life safety may be threatened, or if people need to take shelter, take cover from a possible hazardous materials event. Anything that's going to threaten life safety is an opportunity to use emergency alert.
All it takes is either an email or a phone call to this computer to activate the system. It's then relayed to every local media outlet from television to radio. On cable television, the information goes out almost instantaneously. The total time, less than 3 minutes.
Even if we call or fax press releases, news announcements, it gets out pretty quickly, but the emergency alert system's even faster.
And in a critical situation, every minute counts. Tedd Florendo, Channel 8 Eyewitness News.
The EAS can be used for almost any situation, from Amber Alerts to Homeland Security. A flash flood watch is in effect for Southern Nevada. Here's Kevin Janison with an early check of your neighborhood weather.
Some dramatic clouds over your shoulder there, Paula, and we have seen a few showers too. Check out the Doppler radar and you'll see, looking down I-15, in fact, you can see those clouds if you look south from anywhere in the valley, and there are a few showers that have been going up down around Prim and areas to the southwest. Nothing threatening the valley now, and the reason the flash flood watch is in effect is because when the thunderstorms have developed, they've been very slow movers, so that could produce a lot of rain in a short period of time over the same area. Let's check out a couple of weather stations. First stop, College at 95. They're down to 91 and 32%, now 35%. The winds are blowing a little bit up, so that's going to stream more moisture up toward the Henderson area. And earlier today, up on the mountain, over 1/10 of an inch of rain fell with the first shower that developed during the late morning hours. They're at 69 and 60%. Back in a couple minutes, we'll talk about our chances for thunderstorms not only tonight, but for the rest of the week, Gary.
All right, thank you, Kevin. 6 wildfires sparked by lightning over the weekend are now either out or contained. crews contained the Arden fire last night. That blaze was about 5 miles south of Highway 160. It burned at least 55 acres. Crews have also stopped 2 wildfires at Red Rock Canyon that burned about 50 acres. Authorities have also have a handle on fires burning near Pahrump, the Virgin Mountains near Mesquite, and one in an area about 10 miles south of Highway 160, closer to Pahrump.
There's new opposition to Southern Nevada's plan to take water from an area north of Las Vegas.
Also ahead on Eyewitness News at 6, Southern Nevada has set a record at the gas pump, but there's at least one location offering a certain type of fuel for about $2 a gallon.
Plus, football season is here with a new coach and a new attitude. The UNLV Rebels are about to go to work.
Visit KLASTV.com for more health news, information, and a listing of our Eye on Health professionals.
Gas prices have hit a new all-time high here in Southern Nevada, breaking a record set just 4 months ago. According to AAA, the cost of a gallon of regular unleaded now stands at $2.53 a gallon. With prices at a premium, drivers in search of a frugal fill-up may have an alternative. Channel 8 Eyewitness News reporter Colleen McCarty has that story.
Put the words gasoline and bargain in the same sentence, and generally speaking, you're talking a few cents a gallon in savings.
It's really starting to cut into your pocketbook. You know, now it's starting to be like, okay, do I want to go out and eat? Do I want to put gas in my car?
Dan Webler got off the road and onto the information superhighway in search of a frugal fill-up, where he found this, E85. 85% alcohol, 15% gasoline, 17% cheaper than a gallon of regular unleaded.
And in this particular vehicle, I can burn up to 50% ethanol and regular unleaded, so that's what I do.
Webler's Chevy Cavalier will run on a 50-50 blend. Other cars called flexible fuel vehicles will operate solely on E85 or gasoline. Ford, General Motors, Chrysler, and Mercedes all manufacture E85 engines as standard equipment in some vehicles. With gas prices on the rise,
I suspect by Christmas it'll be $3. Unfortunately, $3 a gallon.
For Webler, the cheaper, cleaner burning fuel is a breath of fresh air. Colleen McCarty, Channel 8 Eyewitness News.
Oil prices are often an indicator of where gas prices are headed. Today, a barrel of oil closed at just under $64. That's a new record. Some analysts say they see the price crossing the $70 mark in the next month.
The city of Las Vegas is trying to crack down on the illegal sale of vehicles on vacant lots. Officials say the practice known as curbing or curbstoning attracts buyers with cheap cars, but those vehicles sometimes have questionable histories, and it takes a trip to the DMV for the new owner to learn the car's past. If you want to report a code violation, you can call the Las Vegas Neighborhood Response Line. Their number is 229-6615.
Las Vegas continues to celebrate its centennial, this time with a huge tribute to the famous neon Welcome to Las Vegas sign. We show you where you can see the newest mural for our city.
And dark clouds have moved around the valley today. Kevin will have the forecast and neighborhood weather when we come back.
Neighborhood weather on Eyewitness News is brought to you by Sunburst Shutters. First, because they last.
Discovery will orbit the Earth for another day, but NASA says the crew will come home Tuesday morning, bad weather or not. We have the latest on the landing of the space shuttle, plus all your local headlines, neighborhood weather, and Sky Witness traffic on Channel 8 Eyewitness News this morning, starting at 5.
You're watching Channel 8 Eyewitness News at 6 with Gary Waddell, Paula Francis, neighborhood weather with Kevin Janison, and sports with Dave McCann. It's not just news, it's Channel 8 Eyewitness News.
There may be a lot of available jobs in Clark County, but a new U.S. Census Bureau survey ranks our area near the bottom in worker pay. Clark County ranks 45th out of 50 among the most populous counties, with an average payroll of just over $32,000 per employee in 2003. New York had the highest average annual salary per worker at $73,000. The lowest was Riverside County, California at $29,000. Clark County ranked 26th among the 50 counties with the most business establishments in 2003.
The newest centennial mural was unveiled today. The mural is at the Cashman Center, pays tribute to the neon sign. You know, that Welcome to Las Vegas sign, one of the city's most enduring symbols. The piece is 80 feet long. It sweeps along a curving retaining wall on the south side of the center. It was created by local artist Jerry Misko.
That's what I concentrate on my paintings, the beauty of Las Vegas, the signs, the vibrancy, the light. The great joy it is to be a part of Las Vegas, to live here, to have grown up here, to be born here, to raise my son here.
The mural unveiled today is one of dozens that will be put up around southern Nevada to commemorate our city's centennial year.
More opposition is lining up to southern Nevada's plan to build a pipeline to pump water from areas to the north of us. Starting today, in protest, a group called the Snake Valley Citizens Alliance is marching 260 miles from the Utah-Nevada border to Salt Lake City, calling for the plan to be stopped. The alliance contends the water plan will hurt residents, damage the economy, and hurt the environment. Counties in northern Nevada are also opposing the water pumping plan.
Kevin, it's the water coming out of the sky we're interested in tonight. Any more of it in the forecast?
Well, you know, there's definitely more in the forecast. I was hoping we'd get some around this time, and the view from the camera on top of the Stratosphere Tower showing the dark clouds carrying a lot of that moisture, but they're way off to the south. You can see McCarran there in the foreground of the picture. Not a whole lot of rain in town. Another shot to show you, this one from the camera on top of the Rio, looking more of a southeasterly direction. Gotta love the sunshine hitting the towering cumulus clouds way off in the distance. We do have showers around the valley, but not in the valley. However, with so much moisture available, it is possible we could see a pretty good thunderstorm, although more isolated in nature, but some neighborhoods could get one before the evening is out. Here's some real-time weather. We'll go to the south end of town. The wind has picked up as some of the outflow, the air rushing out of those thunderstorms is pouring through the far south end of town, this being near Las Vegas Boulevard and the St. Rose Parkway. They're blowing at 19, humidity at 34%, temperature down to 94. Down near Durango and Warm Springs, the Rhodes Ranch area, the wind has just backed a little bit. They're at 96 and 29%. In Prim, near one of those thunderstorms, the temperatures dropped down to 87. Wind has also backed off, humidity at 36%. And up in Lincoln County, some good showers in the eastern parts of that county. They've had better than 1/4 inch of rain, temperature at 83 degrees. We have plenty of humidity. It has actually gone up somewhat today. Dew points have moved up, and that measures the moisture in the air. So we see relative humidity values at or above 30% in many neighborhoods across town, in many communities through southern Nevada. At McCarran today, the high temperature hit 98. That's it. The thick clouds and the humidity kept us from getting any warmer. Earlier, we had the showers over the mountains, and now we're watching things trying to develop down I-15, but they develop and they pulsate and they weaken and then they move on. It's where all the lightning strikes have been too, either south of town or up over the mountains. So over the next few hours, the valley being right here, we're going to watch for some growth right down here, and also what's been happening up to the northeast. The tendency of these thunderstorms today have been to drift very slowly from north to south, and if that were able to materialize, maybe we could get some much needed rain. Does not look like anything major will happen, but with so much moisture in place, the reason the flash flood watch is in effect is because if you get one of these showers, they are going to drop a lot of rain because they're not moving, and they'll pretty much stick right around your neighborhood. But again, chances are less than 50-50, but there still is a chance. 83 tonight, tomorrow back up to 100. Might have a little more moisture to work with tomorrow, but still, if you get caught under one of these thunderstorms, you could find yourself getting heavy rain, some small hail, and gusty winds. The chance for thunderstorms will last through the week before drier air works its way in. Precision meteor shower peaks Thursday night. Chris?
Well, thank you, Kevin. Well, the UNLV football future just got a big shot in the arm. In 2003, this quarterback right here was one of the best high school players in the country, and now he's a Rebel. You want to stick around for this one. Also, a pioneer in the UNLV athletics program will be honored with a permanent tribute. Details coming up in sports. And welcome back. Rebel football coaches waiting on pins and needles to see if highly touted quarterback Rocky Hines would indeed transfer from USC to UNLV. The Rebels did not get stung this time. Blue chip quarterback has made it official. Channel 8 was the only station there when he announced he's a Rebel.
I just felt, it was a great opportunity here with Coach Sanford. And it's close to home, so I felt it was a good opportunity for me. It put me down to UNLV in Texas. I could run, throw, I could do everything in this offense.
He's an athletic quarterback that can run and make some plays, but he's also a good passer. And I think the fact that he saw Alex Smith get drafted #1 in the draft might have had a little bit of something to do with that.
Hines will have to sit out this season, but the former prep All-American will certainly be the #1 guy next year. Well, from great to some heart-wrenching and disappointing news, a heart specialist at UCLA this afternoon told UNLV tailback Alvin Marshall that his football career is over.
it's just kind of, you know what I'm saying, it's kind of hard to, you know what I'm saying, let my team know that I won't be able to play football with them this year, but, you know, it happened like that sometimes, you know, and that's just what I got to do, so.
Marshall was diagnosed last fall with an enlarged heart. The Rebels are now looking for another tailback to fill his spot. Well, the man who really built UNLV athletics will be forever linked with a permanent tribute. UNLV announced it will name the Running Rebels basketball court after the legendary coach Jerry Tarkanian. The dedication will take place this fall with a formal ceremony.
It's a long time in coming. The athletic department, the university are very excited for this. I talked with Coach Tarkanian this morning. He's just thrilled. He's humbled. He's very touched by the decision that was announced today.
And the ceremony will take place during the November 26th game against Nevada. And as we all know, Tark really took 4 teams to the Final Four and won it all 90. He is, of course, UNLV basketball. Final football note, prep coaches, players gathered at Big Dogs today for the annual media day. Boy, a bunch of big-time universities looking at some of these guys.
I think there's a lot of good kids out there. You know, there's Eric and me, like a lot of good athletes out there.
People are starting to notice more Las Vegas football instead of just passing over Nevada. And
as far as talent goes, I think this is one of the most talented areas in the West Coast that just has gone unexposed.
All right, we'll have to see. Some of these guys beat Nevada, or excuse me, Oklahoma, Nebraska, Miami. They're being across by some big schools.
Very good. Thanks.
Here's Dave Crevassier with some of the stories we're working on for 11.
All right, thanks, Paula. All too often we report accidents that happen on valley streets, from pedestrians being hit to road rage. Now officials are trying to tackle the problem on safety on our streets. We'll show you what new resource will be used in that challenge and what it'll mean to you. And the countdown will be on tonight to the return of the shuttle Discovery. We'll have the latest on the problems it has faced trying to come home. Those stories and all your late breaking news at 11. Back to you.
Thanks, Dave.
All right, see you later. Have a nice evening, everybody.